made it to the end.
We have, yes, indeed, we have.
So since the last time we talked about Doctor Who, I decided, hey, let's go ahead and like commit quietly to just seeing it through and seeing what exactly all the fuss is about.
Yeah.
Now, as we've gotten the season finale, what they did was they actually released it in some theaters as a 2-part season finale. So some people got to go to the cinema and watch this. I don't know what the numbers came out to be on that, but you know, it's a move that we don't often see Disney doing for their shows, at least that I'm aware of, right?
Right.
And so I wonder if it was just like, yo, we got to get some money for this. I'm not
now,
sure.
did that happen in the U.S. as well, or was that just across the pond?
I'm not sure. I know for sure there were UK dates or UK screens that the series finale was showing on, but I'm not sure of any like US theaters. I'm assuming, but I'm not sure of where exactly. But all that to say this, the big issue was the amount of propaganda that was being pushed through this series since RTD came on back as a showrunner. And we spoke about it early on, and the propaganda was kind of thick, if I would say. And they were giving it a lot. They were, in my opinion, abandoning the old fans in hopes of acquiring new ones. And then we get to the middle of the season with episodes like 73 Yards, and then our finales here. We got basically, if you had a bingo card and you had a checklist of like things, you know, for the woke folk, they were giving it to us. They were like, okay, you know, we're gonna be super diverse. Check. We're gonna give you a gay kiss. Check. They were doing all the things, right? Some would say it's inclusive. Others would say, what the fuck? But I'd say this. By the time we got to the middle of the season, that is when I found myself having to actually do research and actually learning about like the different Easter eggs and the characters and things like this. Because it started to nerd out towards the end. Unfortunately, I don't think many of the legacy watchers made it to the end. I think they checked out so early on.
Yeah.
And then when they started to include, you know, callbacks and things, including our villain that we got at the end, it required some like intense research on my part. I've seen Doctor Who here and there, right? And I committed to this because Ncuti was involved. We know that, right? So when we got there, I was like, what's happening? What does this mean? What does this mean? And that was, to me, I don't know that they've garnered enough new fans to justify, you know, alienating them early in the season and then speaking to them later on. I think that they should have just kept it nerdy and been dropping those Easter eggs and those hints the whole time. But that's just me, you know, speaking to that particular audience who's committed to this universe that's been created for all these years, right? I just don't know if it was worth axing their straight white community to get to this point, because in the end, once we kill off our villain who has, you know, returned after all these years, and then once we get to Ruby's mother and tying up that whole story, I found myself not caring about Ruby's mother and her finding anything. I think that if they left it open ended probably would have been better. We didn't need to slow down the pace so much. I kind of just didn't care about her at all.
Wow.
And so
Okay.
her mother being like, they gave us her for the last like 5 to 8 minutes of the season, and I was like, so. And then the other thing was Ncuti's knack for crying so much.
Yes, he did cry a lot. I had the same thought.
Oh
but go
my
ahead.
gosh. Ncuti cried like 8 times in the last episode. I kid you not. Not. Even at points that he shouldn't have. I was like, okay. There were moments that it works and the emotions meant to be high, like the callback for the spoon scene. That was a callback to a earlier season as well. But that particular scene where he's meeting the woman in this, desolate planet or whatever, and he's getting the spoon from her, and they're having that back and forth where, she's losing her memory and time is just like, not what it should be. And it's a whole thing. Those moments where they slowed up the pace and gave us emotion, then in Ncuti, it worked.
Yeah.
But then I was like, why are you crying just because you're saying bye to Ruby?
Because he loved her.
But he's the doctor. He said bye for 60 years. Like,
I mean, yes, but is that not them trying to make the doctor more human and have more human emotions?
I don't know.
More relatable?
I just think that they. I don't know. I just don't know if they had a clear sense of direction. Let's get into some of the diversity talk. I know that you had fun with some episodes that a lot of people did not enjoy.
Well, yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, I guess I know why, but yeah, it's true.
What do you mean you don't know why?
Yeah, I guess I know why. Yeah, I don't know. I guess from my perspective, I'm obviously a newbie to the Whovian community.
Yeah.
So I'm not well versed in the universe. So this is all new to me. And so you're saying that they've isolated a lot of fans because of all the diversity, all the inclusivity that has happened in this season. But I guess I see it opposite. It's brought in a new fan like me who would have never paid this any attention. Shout out to Ncuti. I honestly, for like you said, we committed to this because he was in it. But the sprinkling in of diversity and different types of characters and different storylines. You mentioned the gay kiss. To me, I think that is more indicative of the times that we're living in.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair to, show a little bit of representation. And so I enjoyed seeing that. And then with Ncuti being, the Black Doctor Who being the first one, I think it was really important. So maybe it did isolate fans, some of the OG fans, or maybe it brought some of the OG fans in a little closer. I don't know. I don't know. What are the numbers? We got to see the numbers.
Well, people have been documenting and talking about the numbers for the entirety of the season. The ratings for a fact were not where they could have been. Some people say that they don't care that the doctor is Black. The numbers kind of say otherwise. I just think in the end everyone is a bit split. I know some fans were pleased with the first half of the season finale, but not so much the actual ending. They were like, okay, well, this was lacking. And I felt the same. I was like, okay, it was like a little popcorn fart. It didn't do no damage. But I don't know. I think Disney's committed to making it, return. I think then I think it wouldn't be until the holiday season that it comes back. But I just don't know if they this is my main concern or my main question is I don't know if they have successfully garnered enough new fans to justify them. The diversity sometimes feels a bit disingenuous, right? And like I said, it just feels like they're just going down a checklist of like you said, matching the times that we're in. That's fine, but I think the delivery can be a bit like, okay, you're just doing that to appeal to me, not because it's good, not because the story is excellent. And that's where I kind of just get like a bit divided. I like Ncuti leading the show. I did enjoy some of the episodes for what it's worth, some more than others. And then, like I said, once we got to the end, I had to start digging into past Doctor Who seasons and things like that to really understand what's going on. And I think that truly that probably should have been happening the whole time. I think they failed to make it be a thing where you, like you said, you coming in as a newbie, if you're just watching it straight through, at some point, it's like, watching Star Trek or watching these long legacy shows where it's like, if you become a fan, the idea is to become such a fan that you have to go back and look up stuff that you want to know more about, and I don't think they did a good job of doing that because it took them so long throughout the season to do that. And it was a short season, so I don't know how they took so long, but it took them so long to do what I think spoke to the actual Whovian community.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This was their first season on Disney. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so do you think that also played a part in maybe the drop in ratings because Disney is like a subscription service and maybe the audience just didn't move there? Like, could that be a factor?
I don't think so. I don't know, because a lot can be said with the Disney move. A lot can be said the same about the thing that they did with Star Wars, with that property, where they've taken it and the diehard fans are like, you start to insert people like Jack Black and Lizzo into Star Wars, and it doesn't feel right.
Wait, did that really happen? Or are you just saying hypotheticals?
Oh no, that really happened. And and they have a lot of spin-offs and things like this. But when you're dealing with such big properties and things that have such a long cult following, it's very particular. I would say, as a creative, it would be something fun to expand upon. But I would be constantly conflicted with getting so far away from the original property that it becomes a parody of itself. That's what I think the struggle would be for me. And because I feel that way, I think that's what is reflected here. That they wanted so much to introduce us to new people and get in front of new eyes that by the time they got into their stride and things started getting good and in depth, the people had given up on it.
That's unfortunate. I mean, I'm all about evolution, and I think it's important for a show like this that, like you said, has legacy to evolve with the times, because you want to garner new audiences, but you want to keep the old ones, but you want to keep the stories fresh. Like, do we still need to see the same old characters? I mean, you even said yourself that there are callbacks and little Easter eggs that tie back to previous seasons and previous storylines, and so it seems to me like they're keeping the continuity there, but still throwing in some freshness to make it more relevant, I think.
Yeah. It's a balancing act. It really is. And like I said, I want Ncuti to get his checks.
Every time. And I want him to get more jobs. I want people to see his acting chops, how many times he can cry on cue. And I want him. I want to see the glow up, continue glow up in Ncuti. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, it's going to be interesting if they commit to it and they lean into it. It's going to be interesting to see if they are able to pull in even more new fans when they return. Like I said, the ratings were so in the tank this season that
I feel like you're exaggerating I need to see the receipts.
I'm not exaggerating that.
Where's the Nielsen numbers? I need to see them.
to the point that there were some rating scales and things that Disney would normally put out for it that they didn't. and even the director himself would come out and say, well, the 7-week numbers are really nice, but it's like, wait, we're not talking. Why is the goalpost moving that you are making it be about, oh, well, the first month was really good. When really we're like, okay, but what are we getting week to week? What are we averaging there, right? And streaming's a whole other thing where the numbers are a bit choppy and but I think
and it's very possible that a lot of people are waiting until the entire season has been posted and they want to go and binge.
Yeah.
I'm that type of watcher. I'm not a week to week girl. Give me all the episodes. I can watch them in my own time. It's very possible that a lot of the fans are doing that. Yeah, it's the Netflix effect. I know.
I'm just interested to see what a season 2 with our latest Doctor would be and how the response will be, because now I think that if we continue with the same showrunner, I think that the tone has been set, and those who jumped off the train they're done. They got off at their stop, and the goal now would be to get new passengers onto that train, and I think that's going to be a bit difficult because you have a lot of elements that are going to require a lot of research, and you got to really nerd out and really enjoy the universe for what it is to get on board. That's
fair enough. Well, for me, for season 2, I want to see Jinx Monsoon back.
I don't know if you're gonna get the Maestro. I don't know.
No, we can have them play a different character. I don't care. I just want to see Jinx Monsoon on this show again because I felt like Jinx did a fantastic job and probably was one of the best villains that I saw the entire time. So bring back Jinx in whatever capacity. Soap operas do it all the time. Characters die, they bring them back all the time. Y'all can make it happen. Disney magic, make it happen. Thank you.
You are the only person asking for Jinx to come back. I'm sure.
I am not the only person asking Jinx to come back. People enjoyed it.
Y'all, do y'all want Jinx to come back? Let's be honest.
Yes, they do. Everybody does. And if you don't, you a hater.
Some people don't even want the show
Jinx
to come
that
back.
Role.
Some people don't even want the show to come back, let alone Jinx Monsoon.
Terrible. Oh, that's horrible.
But they have said that it will return. That's how we closed out. That's how we ended. The question is, how?
How? Yes. In what way?
Well, if Ncuti is still around and it's still a thing, I will still support to some degree. I just don't know with the way this ended if I will be present week to week again. Let's be honest.
I welcome it. Bring in more inclusivity, diversity, all the things. Sprinkle it all in.
Let us know what you all think and what you all anticipate for a second season, if there should be one. If you are a fan of the Doctor Who universe, what you thought of the season in its entirety. We definitely would like to know. And let Tiera know if you want Jinx Monsoon back to come and play another.
Yes. You didn't have to laugh that hard. It's a great idea.
I don't know about that one. Well, we shall see. The future is nigh. The future is nigh, or the end is nigh.
Ooh.